Hello, and welcome back to ATM10 to the sky. So, today we have some big plans to get better power. Currently, we are only producing around, probably around 1.5 million FE per tick, and I want to drastically increase that. Now, we could increase that by putting soul lava under these thermo generators, but I think for now, we're going to do something a little different. We are going to get into extreme reactors and turbines from extreme reactors. You're probably wondering why we need more power. Well, I want to get into Draconic Evolution, and I want to be able to store a ton of power. So I think it's best that we set up the power, and then we figure out a way to store it, excuse me, because for Draconic Evolution, we need a lot of power. And we're just going to need a lot of power in the future. So I think it's best to upgrade our power. Yeah, let's do it. So to start off with this mod, we need these reactor casings and the reactor glass. Now there's tiers to this. So if I look up reactor, if I could spell it, reactor glass, there's tiers to this glass, and we want to be at the reinforced level, if I'm correct. So we also want to make these reactor casings that are reinforced, which is just steel ingot and graphite. We have a ton of graphite from our geore farm up here, if I could show you. Well, I actually got rid of the geore, but if we look in here, there should be a ton of graphite. Yes, about 20,000. So that should be enough. If it's not enough, we can always add the cold geore back into the system or onto the geore farm. All right, so here's our super basic reactor. So to build it, it's just casings. I have a fuel rod in here. I have the reactor control rod up top, and then I just have ports around the side of it and with the controller here, and that makes the block. So if we click it, it has the status, it has the heat, the casing heat, and the energy buffer. So let's pump this with some uranium and see what it does. So from here, I have some uranium being inputted. I only put a stack in. I guess I can put a little bit more. So I have uranium being inputted into the back of the reactor. This is the solid access port. And we have two solid access ports because we also need the waste to be dumped. And if you look here, this is just the power tap, so we can attach power to there, or like where we'll pull out power. And then if we look here into the basic reactor, we can look at the internal energy buffer, the casing heat, the core heat, and how much fuel it's making. So this is only making 2.5k FE a tick, sure. But I'm pretty sure our waste ejection, we'll put this to automatic. And let's see how we can get waste out of here. Eject waste. How do we get the waste out of here? So I'm just going to take an energy cell and pop it here. And hopefully this pulls, so this reactor will keep on working, which it is. Very nice. So I just want to see how do we get the waste out of this reactor, unless I'm doing something wrong, which is also possible. Oh, so I see. It says waste down here. I'm assuming we need it to be 1,000 millibuckets to make an ingot. That's really slow. Let's try and make a bigger reactor to get more waste. Okay, so I made a little bit bigger reactor. This is now a 5x5. There's 27 reinforced fuel rods in here. 27 of them. And then I have 9 reinforced control rods up top. And then 2 reinforced solid access ports. 1 reinforced energy tap. And then the reinforced controller. So this is a fully reinforced reactor. So let's see what this can do. So now I'm going to pump in uranium through here. So that's going into the solid access port. It's actually going to need a lot more uranium. So let's take all that uranium, pop some in here. And then this should start generating power when the core fuel is all the way up. As you can see, it's taking it all. So now, is this going to work? On. The answer is yes. So now this is making about 67,000 FE per tick. I believe that's correct. And this should be taking a ton of uranium and hopefully making a bunch of waste. So let's see. Is it making waste? It's making waste faster. Can we speed you up at all? No, we cannot. Okay, that's fine. I think these numbers are all good. High heat raises energy output and coolant conversion. Very nice. I believe that's a good thing. But yeah, this reactor is really cheap to run, and these bad boys can get, like, big. Like, really big. But what we want from it now is the waste. For the waste should be cyanite, and we can make a B with this. So the second I get my hands on enough cyanite, we're making a B, because this is how you make the turbines, using this cyanite. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure why it's not pulling, but we have 1 cyanite ingot in here, which is awesome. That means this is working. So we just need to get a bunch more of these ingots before we can make a B, so that we can start making the turbine stuff. So even without this energy cell on here, this reactor continues running, which is a-okay by me. So let's see, the waste is at 1 millibucket right now. Is it gonna eject anything or no? See, look, it ejected a cyanite ingot. Very nice. Now, does this go back down to 0? Yes, it does. So that's the waste that we're grabbing to here. So we're gonna have to repurpose these ingots. But I'm not going to use any of these ingots yet till we can make a B. Hopefully this all makes sense. By the way, to get the B that we're looking for, we need to feed a radioactive B a cyanite block. To get a reactive B, we need the creep B and the iron B. To get the creep B, we need to feed a normal B TNT. To get the iron B, crystalline B, and the ashy mining B. Luckily, we have both of those. So, yeah, it's just going to be a bunch of B stuff. But we need a block of this, so not much we can do before that. All right, so I AFK'd for about probably 2 hours just waiting on the waste here. So once again, how to get the waste. It literally pops out into this. I put in an advanced pipe upgrade onto the pipe. It pulls out the cyanite. So what are we going to do with the waste? We basically need to reprocess the waste using a fluidizer, I believe they are called. Let's take a look. Extreme fluidizer. Yes. So we're going to use these fluidizer casings and basically make another 3x3 machine like this. And it's going to reprocess all of the cyanite. But now that we have 19 cyanite, what we're going to do is make a B, like I was talking about earlier. So let's get doing that now. So to get to our creep B, I really hope these don't explode. We just put some TNT onto a B, and we grab it. Now we have our creep B. And we should be making an iron B right now, so let's speed this up. To get said iron B, it is ashy mining B, and a crystalline B. And we need some B cages in here, of course. Awesome. And we got to make that an adult. So let's grab some treats. So now, with our iron B and our creep B, we're making a radioactive B. And with this radioactive B, we will feed it some cyanite. And we'll make a cyanite B. And so we can always have a bunch of this material to basically reprocess. So I believe this is going to just be way faster than waiting, you know, like 5 minutes per one of these ingots. So now we have our radioactive B. We will place you down. And we will slap a little block on it. And look at that. We have our little cyanite B, which we need a B cage for. B cage. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Ah. Okay. So now we have our cyanite B. Let's make that into an adult. Awesome. So now with our cyanite B, let's see what we want to do. I guess we'll just do it over here. We will pop you into there because it has a simulator upgrade. And in this feeding slab, I'm sure we're just going to put a cyanite block down here. And let's see. Let's grab some speed upgrades. You know, I'll just make a bunch of these. Pop you in there. And if we speed you up, it's making the combs. And it's putting the ingots right here now. Would you look at that? Now we're getting a bunch of the cyanite, and we're barely speeding this up. This is why the time wand is so good. Wow, awesome. So now if we look in our system, we see that we're getting a bunch of cyanite. All is good. And just 1B should be enough to sustain literally all of this. So, yeah. I mean, awesome. Now we have a bunch of ingots to reprocess. So let's get working on the fluidizer. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Sweet! So I forgot to mention, basically the reprocessor and the fluidizer and the turbines take a ton of this cyanite. So it seems like there's a fluidizer and a reprocessor, which we're going to use basically, I think, the cyanite to make different types of ingots. And we want to use these ingots to make these certain types of coils. Our goal is to get this insanite block, which is basically the best coil, I believe, for the turbine. So once I get it set up, I'll probably be able to explain it a little bit better, but I just want you guys to know basically what I'm doing right now. I'm making this reprocessor and this fluidizer. So once I get these multi-blocks up, I'll show you what they actually do. But yeah, ton of crafting recipes. Bless this bee. Seriously, bless this bee. This bee's doing God's work. It's unbelievable how good these bees are. I mean, this is processing so many ores for us. Well, ingots. But, you know. And we're making a good amount of unobtainium, too. I can't escape it this episode. This is ridiculous. This was not staged. This was genuinely not staged. Okay, I have the two machines. I have the reprocessor and the fluidizer, and they seem to be correctly set up because they have these little borders on them. If I destroy, they get rid of the border. But yeah, let's see how these work. So the fluidizer, it's obviously off. I believe we need to insert fluid into it. And it should give us something. So we need to figure out what type of fluid we need to insert in this. And the reprocessor, I believe, can also take some sort of inputs. I believe it's going to take cyanite here. Let's actually check this. Grab some cyanite. Pop a couple of those bad boys in. Let's give it some power. And let's turn it on and see what it does. So it also needs some sort of fluid, I believe, for it to work. So let's try to figure out what type of fluid this needs. So I'm going to give the reprocessor some water. Not that kind of water game. And it's making plutonium. Awesome. This is what we want. It's not always doing it. Oh, because we need to pull out the output. Okay, awesome. So this doesn't actually, like, update when we're in the UI. And then let's grab a chest. Probably don't have any. And let's pipe this out. Awesome. And now we're getting plutonium from our cyanite. So we're just pumping water into this reprocessor with cyanite up here. And we're making plutonium. I don't believe it's a 1-to-1 conversion. It might be. Huh. I really don't know. It is not a 1-to-1 conversion. So for 2 cyanite, it makes 1 plutonium. Okay, cool. So let's start pumping in a bunch more cyanite. This is really simple. There's just power on the back. Oh, and I guess I never explained how to make these. So while this is running with these 2 multi-blocks, it's kind of the same setup as the reactor where there's a bunch of ports on it. There's a power port, all of that. But with the fluidizer, it's completely empty in the middle. And it's just casings all around. So I have the controller. I have 2 solid injectors. I believe you can either do 2 solid injectors or 2 fluid injectors. We'll know by the end of the video. And then there's an output port here as well. For the reprocessor, it's completely hollow in the middle. Use these reprocessor casings. We have a fluid injector, a controller, the output port, and in the bottom here, there's a collector, and up top, there's the waste injector. So yeah, this should all be working fairly well. We haven't really used the fluidizer yet, but I'm sure we'll come to and do that soon. And to make all of this, by the way, it's just a lot of cyanite and pretty simple recipes across the board. Just a lot of the cyanite, like a lot of the cyanite. It took 52 of these casings to craft, not including the controller and stuff. But yeah, now we got a bunch of this plutonium. Oh, when you break it, you have to turn it back on. Duh. So by inserting this uranium and ejecting fuel, this gives us this yellorium. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert this yellorium. Oh, sorry. We're not going to insert this yellorium. So what we're going to do over here in this solid ejector is we're going to take our yellorium, which you just eject the fuel and it makes it, and plutonium. So we'll pop that there, yellorium there, Plutonium there. Pop some power on. Come here. We'll turn this on. Cool. So now we're making this verderium, which I guess we don't really have a nice setup here, do we? So I'll keep on making this plutonium, or we're done making it. Put a couple more stacks of cyanide in here. And I'm actually going to move this fluidizer away. I'm going to reset all this up, later, but for now I'm going to move all this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this fluidizer can be basically as big as we want it to be, I believe. So let's take the output port over there. Solid controller. Now this is set up and it's going. Awesome. And what's nice about this mod too is it keeps what's in the injectors. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe this out into a fluid. Should we do a fluid drawer? I guess we can. No, let's not do a drawer. Let's do a tank. So now we're going to pipe this out and hopefully this just goes into the tank. Oh, this isn't on. Duh. So now we'll turn this on and hopefully this outputs into the tank. Awesome. So we're getting liquid verderium at a pretty substantial rate, actually. So I'm going to make one of these reactor fuel injection ports so that we can actually insert this fuel into our system. So once this is filled up a little bit, I'm going to take this and I'll swap it out for an empty one. It fills up pretty quick, though. I won't lie. Okay, so now this is full. We'll place that tank here. Now this tank should be connected. So as you can see, the liquid is now transferring into this reactor. It's all filled up. So now our reactor should be running, not off of uranium, but it should be going into here. And I guess we're just going to have to see. I just clicked void reactants and it started filling up. So I think we're good. I think we need to do something like this. I won't lie. I think we need a lot of this stuff. So let's just use scuff setup for now, just so that we can get the correct waste from here. What we're trying to get is rosinite, and that's the reactant that we need. So let's see. This is working, I believe. This is really running through the fuel, though. Oh, rosinite's a reactant. So how do we grab this out of here? So I believe it is working because we are getting rosinite in here, but we need to be getting more, correct? How do we get this out? Is there a fluid access port? Fluid access. Oh, duh. We just need to make another one of these injection ports and do it on outlet mode. So cool. Now we have another rod. Place that in here. Set that to outlet mode. Here's the waste tank full of it. Why can't I? How do I take this off of bucket mode? Oh, bucket mode. There we go. Place. You just use scroll wheel to take it off of bucket mode. And we'll pipe this out. And now we're getting our rosinite. Awesome. So let's get a bunch of this rosinite. And again, I just have this going with plutonium and yellorium. This is filling up with rosinite. And we will use this rosinite to make another type of ore. All right, so this is producing a good amount of rosinite. But now we need to get another ore, which is this benitoite. Benitoite. It sounds like I'm an Austin Powers actor. So to do that, we need a blue laser lens on an ore laser base with some laser drills. So it's kind of like what we did with the wither, extracting from the wither. So let's set that up now. This is just, we're just going in circles here. We're just going in circles. I believe I can just set this up right here with no problems. Let's see if I'm correct. I always set this up backwards. Okay, let's see if this works. Go faster. Oh my goodness. Benitoite. What is weight 5? Weight 5? Oh, it made some aglasite. But we need some benitoite. Oh, cool. So we got some benitoite. I gotta stop saying that. So we got some this benitoite. And with this, we need to put it in a reprocessor. So I guess we will stick this up here. And we need to put some of this rosinite in as well. So yeah, this is just a whole mess of contraptions right now, but that's okay. So we're going to put this beniatite up here. That should transfer into here. And we need to void the fluid so it gets rid of that water. Let's see, do we get any more? We got some more. Look at that. Grab all this. Then let's pipe this out through the roller coaster of pipes. That should pop into here. This is making the ingots that we need. Joyous day. With these ingots, can we make one of these? Can we make a bee for this? Insane. Oh, I see a bee. Insanite bee. Oh, there's an insanium bee? Oh. Okay, but insanite bee. Let's see how we make this. Oh, boy. So in the reprocessor, we need 2 beniatoite bees. So we need 2 of these spawn eggs to make a spawner. Why is this not going? Wait. Does it take 16 crystals per one? Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Oh, this is gonna be a process, fellas. This is going to be a process. All right, so first thing on our list here, we want to get this bee. We really want to get this bee. Because we need, like, a good amount of these blocks. So we need to get a blaze bee. And we need to feed it a beniatite. Beniatoite. Beniatoite. I don't know. I'm just going to call it a Benny. So we need to get a blaze bee and feed it a Benny. How do we get that? So we need a nomad bee and a magmatic bee. This sneaky bee will lay its eggs in nests belonging to the ashy mining bee. So we need an ashy mining bee in this. Chocolate mining bee. Ashy mining bee. Cool. So I'm just gonna leave this here and hopefully a nomad bee spawns in this. Let's get the magmatic bee. We need a nether brick nest and a magma cream. Lay your eggs in there, buddy. Our bee trifecta. Oh. Wait, I didn't get a bee cage. Magmatic bee. Cool. I guess I'll just spawn in another while this is ripping. Grab a few, can't hurt. Alright, is there a nomad bee in here? Alright, is there a nomad bee in here? Alright, I'm placing a few more nests down. And hopefully some more ashy mining bees spawn. Because I think what we need is the ashy mining bee to leave the nest, and then a nomad bee will spawn in the nest. Okay. I got the bees down in this area with their nest. Oh, he came back. He came back. Place you. Awesome. So now I think we want these guys to be moving in and out fast. So let's speed you up a little. And hopefully just a nomad bee moves in eventually. While that's going on, let's get the next material we need in this mumbo jumbo of stuff. Okay, so now we want to get this ludicrite and ridiculite. And to get these, we just need cyanite and energy in the reprocessor. And magnetite and ludicrite in the reprocessor. How do we get said magnetite? We need to pump this in our reactor and it'll make magnetite. Cool. So whenever this runs out, which it should soon, we'll start using magnetite. Whenever this runs out, all this fuel. Cool. So let's start with the cyanite. So in the fluidizer, we want to take our cyanite. Let's make like 20 blocks. And we are just going to pop that in here, I believe. You don't want to become liquid. It says that you can just do energy, a block. Maybe we have to get rid of this injector. And we'll just put casing. Oh, we have to turn it on. Oh, I see. That it's not big enough to take blocks. It can't take blocks because the fluidizer is not big enough. Correct? Yes. Awesome. So let's grab a bunch of this. We'll grab another fluid tank. And now this should be putting cyanite in here for us, which it is. Very nice. All right, first things first. We are going to place our cyanite fluid. Pump that into here. And we're going to take some of our plutonium. Pump that up top. Awesome. So now this should be getting pumped in with fluid. And this is making 1 ludicrite. Awesome. So it doesn't actually take up too much of this cyanite. But basically, we might honestly want to make another reprocessor. But once we get bees, we're not going to have a need for the reprocessor. And this is all in the name of good power. So now we have 32 ludicrite. Let's actually make We'll make 16 more. So now we are going to void all the reactants in here. Okay. So I put in some plutonium, and this seems to be running, but we need it to create waste. Are you creating waste? I guess while this produces waste, let's go make a plutonium B. Might as well, right? Yeah, let's go make the plutonium B. To get the plutonium B, we need a cyanite B spawn egg and water. Okay. Get the cyanite B spawn egg. We're just going to need to produce a ton of the cyanite Bs. Hopefully we have a few. Do we have another radioactive B? We do. Radioactive B. And then we take a cyanite block. Boom, boom. Cage U to cage U as well, except it got taken by our system. And now we are going to breed 2 cyanite Bs. And this will just make more cyanide bees. I put these barrels underneath so that it automatically fills up with treats and automatically fills up with roses so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. But yeah, we should have a bunch of these cyanide bees now. And we want to turn these into adults. So let's speed this up a little bit. Cool. So now we need to crush these bees. So we have type product bees cyanite. Oh wait, this is netherite. Cyanite. We will grab a treat. We will mix it. I believe in the incubator we grab you, an egg, speed you up a little bit. We're actually going to need 2 of these. Okay, we can roll a 71% chance, surely, right? We can, was that the 71% chance or did I just glitch it? I don't know. Cool. So now we have 2 of these bee spawn eggs. Let's go make 2 plutonium bees. We're just going to pop these bad boys in. Now these are making plutonium bees. Now we got 2 plutonium bee spawn eggs. Cool. And realistically, what we should do is we should we just make one into the ludicrite bee spawn egg? Or should we make them both into ludicrite? And then, oh, geez. We'll see if we need more ludicrite. I hope we don't. Let's see if it's making the waste that we need. I mean, is it even using this? Why is the fuel burn up rate so slow? Oh, there is a little bit of magnetite in this waste tank right now. Okay, very interesting. So I thought it was going to be a solid, but it's actually not. So we have a little bit in this tank. Okay, that's good that it's at least filling up. So I guess we'll take this rosinite tank and we'll grab another tank. Let's see. I guess we'll just grab a basic one. We probably don't need too much of it. We will pop that there, and that should be filling up with magnetite. A lot of liquids that we got to figure out here, guys, but that's all right. Look at that. That's filling up now. Very, very nice. So we're going to need about 9 buckets of this magnetite, if I had to assume. I think we honestly skip the plutonium bee and we just make a ludicrite bee, right? And then with the ludicrite bee, we can, oh, yeah, this is good. This is good. Let's make the ludicrite bee. With 1 bucket of magnetite, we can make a reticulite bee. Okay, let's get rid of the water here. What we're going to do is void all the fluids. Take all this back. Take this back as well. Put you in there. Insert the cyanite. That'll make ludicrite bee. Now we are going to take the ludicrite bees. Pop them in there. Once we are at 2 buckets of magnetite, we will insert that. And let's see. Do we have a nomad bee? Oh, nomad bee! Nomad bee! Yo, bro really just took us home. Okay, wait. Let's get you out of here. All right, exit, nomad bee. It's so small. Is that an adult? It's a child. Okay, let's make him an adult. So now we're gonna breed the nomad bee and the magmatic. Where's my magmatic bee? Okay, we're gonna take a nomad bee and a magmatic bee. Oh, okay. Nomad bee, magmatic bee. That's going to make the the blaz bee. Speed this up just a little bit. And we're still waiting for this. Whenever this is done, take your time, dude. Wow, that's slow. All right, so let's work on the bees. Let's be productive. Haha, see what I did there? Okay, there's a blaze bee. Pop you in there. We're going to want 2 of these bees. Pop you in there. Now we are going to want to do this. Blaze bee. Blaze bee. Cool. So now we got 2 of these Benia-type bees. Hey, stop running from me. Now we're going to breed the Benia-type bees to make more Benia-type bees. Speed that up heavily. This is our adult chest. Adult bee chest. Jeez. We're going to take all of these bees. See, this is, the time wand is unbelievable. It really is nice. So with all our Benia-type bees, we're going to index them. Oh, shoot. Hey. So now we can pop the treats in there with eggs. And this should make the spawn eggs. And we're doing this so that we can make the Insanite bee. Cool. Now we have 2 of these spawn eggs. If we click EU, we can make the Insanite bee spawn egg with some Rawsonite. So let's go do that. We have an extra spawn egg just in case we need it. Take you out, put you in there. Where's our Rawsonite? It's right here. That's not what I wanted to do. Pull that out. That should have made our bee. So now we have our bee spawn egg, but we do need to make a block. So I guess we'll make some more blocks because we were going to need 9. Oh, geez. Okay, let's get that hooked up then. Let's make some blocks of the Insanite. We need 6 more to make a block so that we can harvest with the bee. Cool. That'll be pumped in. And we're going to be pumping in these crystals. Cool. So we're at 11 Insanite now. Let's make a... How do you make a block? Oh, boy. Oh, to make an Insanite block, we need the Inanite. Should we make a Magnetite bee? I feel like we should make a Magnetite bee. It's plutonium bee and a Magnetite block. Well, technically, we don't need the Ridiculite. Or, sorry, we don't need the Magnetite if we get the Ridiculite with bee going. So I guess we'll make one of these. And we need 8 ingots, which is... Okay. So our holdup right now is we just have to wait for this Magnetite. We need about 9 buckets of it, which, that's fine. It's just going to take a while. So let's do something else in the meantime, right? Might as well. We actually need 10 buckets of it. So yeah, while we're waiting for this, really, really slow. I might have to AFK for a few hours, but I'm not sure how to make it go any faster. Oh, I see. By having more fuel, this is actually going to go faster. Oh, nice. Yeah, so let's keep this filled up. Because now it's going to go way faster. I see. So maybe we're not going to have to wait that long. I mean, we're going to have to wait long. But, like, that's okay. That's better than what we had. We want the heat also to be high because we want to raise the fuel usage so that we get more buckets of this. But yeah, let's start doing something else in the meantime while we're waiting. Might as well be productive. As I mentioned earlier, we do want to be getting into Draconic Evolution. So might as well start that. We can make a Draconium bee, or we can set up the auto crafting with the fusion crafters using modular routers. There's a couple things we could do right now. I'm not sure what we should be doing. I guess we can set up Draconic Evolution over here, since it's not, like a terribly big setup for the fusion crafting. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so this is going to be our basic Draconic Evolution setup. So these are Draconium fusion crafting injectors, and these are the crafting cores. Or, well, this is the crafting core. So the crafting core, you never have to upgrade, but these fusion crafting injectors, we are going to have to upgrade. So you just power these in the back, and basically each of these fusion crafting injectors, which I will show you how to make, it's stone, iron block, diamond, and Draconium core, which is just Draconium, gold, and diamonds. So these have tiers. I believe there are 4 tiers of them, and we're going to have to upgrade these tiers. I'm not going to set up any auto crafting yet because we are going to be, moving these. And I believe we can have them in this shape. Normally, like, you go, like, one on this side and one on this side. If we can't have it like this, it's not the end of the world. But, yeah, let's start trying to upgrade some of these crafting injectors. I actually believe we don't even need 6 on each side. I think it's 5 on each side. So let me reset these up. 1 or more of the injectors are too close. Interesting. So let's see if we can do this vertically. Okay, so we can do it vertically. And yeah, we'll keep it like that, whatever. So this is fine for now. It looks kind of cool vertically. So it needs to be a 2-block gap in between this all. So Fusion Crafting Core is nice and easy. And what we want to do is we want to tier these up to Draconium. So you use we'll call it basic, whatever. We use a basic Fusion Crafting Ejector with these 8 materials. So it's diamonds, a Wyvern core, which is 4 Draconium cores, Draconium ingots, and a Nether star. So this just gets more and more expensive. So yeah, we're going to want to do this 10 times. So if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure you can just click here. And yes, and you just click into the JEI. And then we have a redstone clock here. So it just auto starts it for us. And none of these have power. I'll be right back. So after giving these all power, take this out, put this back in. It said the recipe is not valid. Okay, what did I mess up here? Okay, now after the recipe, after we gave it power and put the recipe back in, this all started working. Cool. And I'm pretty sure this takes a pretty substantial amount of power, but it seems to be working well. And it's a really cool crafting recipe. I don't know where the other one went. The other one blew up into non-existence. That's not ideal. All right, well, whatever. So now we can replace one of these crafting ejectors with a Draconic one. And we will continue the cycle. Craft that bad boy. Oh, I think I took it out while I was crafting. So it seems to not be picking up this middle injector, probably because it's, you know, getting blocked by this redstone clock. I wonder if there's a way that we can send like a wireless signal. I mean, it's fine for now. We'll figure it out. I can always move stuff. So we're at 5 buckets of magnetite. It does take a while. Oh, we could speed it up with the time wand. What a day. What a day. Cool. Now these are all upgraded to Wyvern tier, I believe. So the next tier is actually Draconic. So now what we want to do is we want to get an Awakened Draconium block, which takes a Dragon Heart, a bunch of Draconic cores, and 4 Draconium blocks to get a Awakened Draconium block. We want to make one of these cruxes, and we also want to make these seeds. But we're going to need to get another Dragon Heart anyway. So let's craft up the Awakened Draconium, and then we're going to have to go kill the dragon again, because we only have 1 Dragon Heart. And I'm pretty sure the only way... I'm not even going to look at any of this stuff. Yeah, we just got to go kill the dragon again. So let's do it. While this is crafting, let's go kill the dragon. Awesome. So now the dragon's going to respawn, and I'm going to grab my Supreme-ium bow, some arrows, and I'm going to start knocking these down. Oh, wait, I think I have to wait until the fight starts. All right, take your time, dragon. Take your time. Dragon heart. I guess I'll grab the XP. Bro, we have no bed. Are we in spawn? How do we get back to the island? Skyblock home. Okay. Well, that was a little scary. All right, we're at 7,000 mil buckets. But now, let's go look here. Yes, we have our Awakened Draconium. So let's go do some stuff with this. So now we need to make this Awakened Draconium crux, which is why we made another Dragon Heart. We take you, and let's make some seeds. Yoink. Prosperity. We probably only need 1 of these if I had to assume, but we could always make more. But for now, let's make 1. This will save us a lot of energy and time. Sweet. Claim our quest. What's it going to give us? I kind of want Wither Skeleton seeds. Oh, let's go. That's awesome that it gave us them. Sweet. So I'm going to put the crux right here. And we're just going to have to get rid of whatever seed is there. So that's another star seed. This is a honey seed. Goodbye, honey seed. Now, look at that. Awakened Draconium seed is being produced. And it's making Awakened Draconium essence relatively fast. If we hit U, this will give us 3 nuggets. So, and then obviously with the nuggets, we can make ingots. But yeah, like this is way better than whatever we had. This is just passively making us awaken Draconium now. No complaints from this guy. And we got Wither skeleton essence now, which I guess we didn't really need it. I guess, yeah, I guess there wasn't really a point. And yeah, at least we have it. I just kind of wanted the seed. So to make a block, it's going to take 243 essence, I guess, right? So that's not terrible. It really isn't terrible. And I think it's fine just to have one seed for now, because our focus for this episode isn't even Draconic Evolution. I was just doing it because I didn't want to AFK for another hour and a half. But yeah, this is a huge start for when we start Draconic Evolution next episode. But yeah, this is a good start. Let's check on our extreme reactor stuff. We got 8 buckets. Bruh. Hurry up. Alright, let's make some Draconium bees. Might as well while we're here. Let's make a few. So, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take 2 Draconic bees and we're gonna breed them up. And we want a ton of these bad boys. Like a ton of these bad boys. Why aren't you breeding? Oh, they need Draconic dust to breed. Silly me. So now, with our Draconic bees, we want to make them into adults. Alright, now that we got a couple adult bees, same thing as always, we just gotta squish them. So now that we have a gene sample, we'll come here, mix it in with a treat. We're actually gonna want a lot more of these Draconic bees. So you know what? Let's just make like 10 spawn eggs for these right now. I want a ton of these Draconic bees. Because I want to make some Draconium bees, I want to make some awakened Draconium bees, and then, I don't want to spoil, but some chaos bees. Bro, I just failed a 75% chance. Oh my god. Now we got 5 Draconic bee spawn eggs. With these 5 Draconic bee spawn eggs, we are going to make 5 Draconium bee spawn eggs, which is, this is the recipe for Draconium dust, some combs, Draconium blocks, the normal stuff. So we got that crafting. Oh, we did it. We're at 10 buckets. We did it. I can't believe the day finally came. So we're going to put, oops, I spilled. Oh, no way. We just lost a bucket of that. Oh my god. Well, now we need more. Cool. Now we have 5 Draconium bee spawn eggs. With these, I want to make I guess 4 awakened bees. So we need some Draconic cores, which is this recipe. Oh, but I wonder, do we have a high enough tier? Oh, we need our tier to be Draconic. Yeah, we need more awakened Draconium. So for now, we have these eggs, which we will use next episode. Come on. Okay. Place you down. Void the fluids in there. Take this. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to pipe this out, and we're going to put our bee spawn eggs in here. So now this should make 2 reticulite bee spawn eggs. So now that's going to go up here, and that's going to craft as many as it possibly can. And if my math's correct, it should craft 9 or 8. Or it should craft 8. It's going to craft 9. Oh, it crafted 8. Okay, perfect. So we have 8 of these. So now with this reticulite, we are going to make it into a block. So now we have a reticulite block. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. We are going to place this block here. And then we are going to place the bee and its cage. We are going to grab a simulation upgrade. Some speed upgrades. Pop you and I just put a ton of simulation. We're going to do the same here, actually. But for now, I'm going to take this Omega tier, grab you, swap this Omega tier, put that in here. Ooh, bars. Reticulite bee is going to go in, and we are going to spam click this. So it's going to be making a ton of ingots. Reticulite ingots go up here. Oh, Lord have mercy. So now there's a bunch of reticulite up in here. So now we have infinite reticulite. And now with this next reticulite bee, we're going to make an Inanite bee spawn egg. So we are going to unhook you, hook you up. Don't place the bee in the world. That would be an absolute tragedy. Take our Ludicrite out of here. Void the fluids. Grab our Inanite bee spawn egg. And now we need to make some Inanite, which is Rawsonite. ridiculite, I mean. Put that here. Pop you in there. This should be working now. Sweet! It's all working. We have 8 inanite. We will be making an inanite. An anite block. Wait. Where are we going? Now we are going to take our inanite B. Grab you. Honestly, we could probably put all 3 of these bees in the same section with drawers. Okay. I swapped the drawer so that they're, you know, a little bit more compact. And I have all 3 of these types of bees in here. Let's spam click you. Now, these are all making combs because I have the productivity omega that I've used from here. Let's see. This is going super fast. So now we take our inanite, and we want to make a recipe to make these inanite blocks and these insanite blocks. So let's go make that recipe while the bees are going. Now, in all honesty, I wish these feeding slabs could take up more. But we're just going to have to put the bee, I guess, here. So we'll do insanite bee. Guess it's fine that it's in there. And now we're going to want to search insanite block, which we don't have any insanite. So let's make an insanite block. Pop you in there. Take out the omega upgrade. Put the omega in you. Hey, now. And we are going to want to time wand this. Take all the insanite from here. Put you in there. And yeah, there we go. That was kind of a grind, but now we have literally infinite insanite. So I'm just gonna make sure that we have enough to do all our turbine stuff. And then, yeah, that was the goal of the episode, to get to the turbines. We're not even making the turbines yet, funny enough. So to make these insanite blocks, it's just ananite, netherite, and insanite. Insanite. Jeez, these names are really tripping me up. All right, let's get to the turbines. Okay, so I just made like 45 recipes to make the turbines. Basically, it's just a bunch of steel and cyanite, but I'll show everyone how to make it. The quest book wants you to do a basic version. I'm just going to skip right to the reinforced because we have enough steel and cyanite. Thank you, bees. I love you, bees. I kind of forgot about this up here. Oh my goodness. All right, well, we're going to, get rid of this because we have no need for it. It's time for the cleanup arc. We don't have to be outside anymore. We can go inside. I basically have no use for the reprocessor or the fluidizer anymore, which is why I'm destroying them. That's much better up here. All right, let's make these turbines. Okay, I believe we have one of the turbines up. Let's see. Yes, I think this is working now. So as you can see, it's fully reinforced. It has a power tap on it. It has a controller. And then in the back, there are 2 fluid ports. And up top, I just have a coil of insanite, geez. And then there's blades. So how do you build the blades? It's literally, you place a rotor like this, and you put blades on each side. Just like that, nice and easy. So now we're asking, how do we power this thing? We need to get steam. How do we get steam? We got to use a reactor from before to get steam. So now I'm going to have to make one of those reactors again, and we'll just pump water in, and it should make steam for us. So let's get that up and running. Oh, I got it to work. Oh, is this working now? Sweet. Sir. Sweet. Okay, it's liquid steam. Oh, are we going to use ender tanks again? I think we're going to use ender tanks again. So now this is filling up with, let's do that so it makes sure it's pushed. So now all these ender tanks are filling up with liquid steam. So let me explain how I set up this reactor. The reactor is set up the exact same, except I have unobtainium blocks in these 5 positions for coolant. You can just toss them in there, and it really cools down the system. Like, really cools down the system. But besides the point. Exact same setup. You have the solid access port, which takes in uranium, and then the solid access port, which takes out the cyanite. And then back here is the big change. You use these reactor active forge fluid ports. This is inserting water, and this is exporting steam. So if you look in here, basically the energy, wherever the energy stuff was over here is gone. And now this is filled up with water and is making liquid steam. So we are going to take one of these ender tanks and we are going to insert it over here with our big boy turbine. And we're going to take one of these ultimate pipes that we made earlier, configure this to pull, and now this should be importing steam. It doesn't seem like it's making steam. Oh, maybe it is making steam and it's just filling this up. Yeah, so this is full. And so now we need a coolant fluid tank as well. I believe we can just put in water. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's see. Is this not making steam? With steam empty. Interesting. Why is it empty? Because the reactor's off. Duh. But this isn't working now? It was working. I shouldn't have touched it. It's all my fault. Let's hit scram. Let's void all the reactant. And let's turn it back on. Oh, man. Did I break it? I thought we had something. All right, well, let's try to set up the turbine. So I'm going to turn this on and see if this works. We're out of steam. Okay, we instantly ran out of steam because this is not producing steam. It's not even on. It was working. This is about to be an hour 30 long episode. About to be a movie drop. So this seems, the casing heat seems to be going up, and the vapor fluid also seems to be going up. Cool. Let's turn this on, and let's see. Is this keeping up? I just replaced the coils. The vapor fluid seems to be working, right? This is still going. Cool, cool. And the RPM is going up. The rotor speed is going up. And I believe what we need to do is just wait for this to reach a certain speed, and then we can click induction coils. Rotors perform best at 900 or 1800 RPM. So let's stop this at 1800 RPM, I believe, and we'll try to keep it constant at 1800 RPM. I've never done this before. So once it gets around, I guess, like 1700, we'll click the induction coils. So it seems to be going relatively fast. 1700, we'll engage the coils, and then we will turn this down heavily, I believe. And this is producing 23 million FE a tick. Oh, wait, this is still going up way too fast. Is there any way to, like, drop this lower? Oh, no. Oh, jeez. If you hold down the shift key, if you hold down control, here we go. So we want this flow to go down drastically. I believe we want the flow to probably cap at, like, 1,000 millibuckets a tick. Now it's going down. Let's put it back up a little bit. We want it to be at a constant rate. So we'll see what keeps it constant. I believe we want it constant at least. How much power are we getting out of this again? 24 mil. Some light. Oh, wait. There we go. That's the sweet spot number, I believe. Basically 1.2 millibuckets a tick. I was going to build 4 of these. I am going to build 4 of these, just not right now. But this looks like it's the sweet spot. It's not going up too high. Maybe we can drop it by. That's the sweet spot right there, I believe. Oh, it's going up or is it going down? And then I don't understand what this vent coolant, vent only excess coolant does. Or do not vent coolant. See, this is going, we want to stay. Well, it should be fine. This should be correct. But this is producing 23 million FE a tick. How are we doing over here? This is producing 1.4 buckets per tick and basically using 0 fuel. Oh, Lord. Okay, so, oh, God, we're making a lot of power. So we're making 24 million FE a tick, and we can make these turbines real easy now. Like, real easy. And we would just basically have to make another one of these reactors, or actually just expand this reactor. I don't know what these venting the excess coolants are, but our rotor efficiency is 81.4. I believe we want that to be at 100, but I'm not sure how to get it to 100. Well, you know, I'm pretty happy with this right now because this is at 24 million FE a tick, so you can't really complain too hard, right? Especially if we make 4, that's 80 million FE a tick. That's for sure good enough for late game power. But Well, I mean, this was worth the 5 hours that it took to set up. Probably would have taken me about 3 if I wasn't an idiot, but it's fine. So yeah, I'll probably be making more of these throughout the playthrough. But this is good for now. This is good for now. Probably need to fill this up with a little bit more uranium. Actually, it doesn't even take that much uranium. The heat's good. This is all good. Yeah, it's keeping up well. What is vent coolant? Let me do some research. After consulting Google, I believe we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, and also the rotor efficiency is basically just like how much steam you're using, I believe. So I think it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Hopefully this, like levels out. I'm sure it will. But for now, 24 million FE a tick is pretty nice considering these are cheap now. These are gonna be easy to make now. Shout out the bees. But yeah, we have a ton of the ores now. All right, well, in the future, I'm gonna build 3 more of these bad boys. 1, 2, 3. When we need a little bit more power. But for now, this is gonna be plenty of power. We've pretty much 20x star power. I won't say easily because it did take a little bit, but yeah, we now have the setup. It'll just be a bigger reactor and more turbines in the corner, but the turbines look sick. Hopefully they don't explode. That would not be sick. But we're not even using this power right now. I guess we can just put a plug on it. Just pop a plug on it, name it turbine 1, connected to the network. And this will be priority 1 if this ever gets used. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. This is a lot of power. It is going down a little bit, but the efficiency, I think, went up as well. It seems like it leveled out, though, right here, which is perfect. Basically 24 million FE a tick. For those, that's 95 mil. Well, no, but yes. Yeah, rough numbers here, fellas. Rough numbers. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to end the episode here. This might be a longer episode, and I apologize for that, because you're going to have a movie at 8 a.m. EST. But, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully I explained things a little bit better in this episode. If I did, let me know in the comments, because it was my goal this episode to try to really lay out the plan. And if I didn't do that, sorry, it's in my head. I'm trying to do it. Question of the day. What is your favorite power source in real life? All right. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.